Welcome guys. Today we're going to make a mud map of the Killalea State Park, and to begin with we're going to consider the word bolts. Now bolts is spelt B-O-L-T-S, and each of these letters stands for a part of the map that we need to have. Now we're going to start with the letter B. Now B is a nice easy one. B stands for border. So I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to draw a nice big square like so. The next letter that we need is O, and O stands for orientation. That's the direction that this map faces. So for this, I'm going to take my arrow and I'm going to get an arrow just like so, and I'm going to draw on our map an arrow like so. Now this is the direction north faces on my map. It's a little bit upside down today, but with this written right here, that lets everybody know that my map is north in that direction. We're going to move on to some of the details now. So I'm going to take my pen and we're going to begin in the northern headland up here in Bass Point, which is a rocky headland which then sweeps round into the farm beach. From the farm beach we've got this second rocky headland that comes around and then sweeps into Mystics Beach. Now at the moment this isn't much detail, so I'm going to take my colours and I'm going to add some yellow. Now this yellow shows us where the sandy beaches are. So I'm going to carefully colour in this area here. There's the farm. I'm going to move south, and this beach is Mystics Beach down here. So I've got the beaches coloured in, so I'm going to move on to some of the water. I'm going to change my pen, and I'm going to add some nice big waves out here on the ocean. This area here is all ocean. Behind the farm beach we've got this lagoon. It's a really important habitat for lots of plants and animals. It's freshwater, so animals that can't survive in the ocean can survive here. And I've coloured that in. Then moving south we've got this river here which is Minamara River. I'll colour that one in as well. So there's much of our water coloured in. I'll change my pens again and we'll go back to the coastline because the coast is covered in rocks. And I'm going to mark these rocky areas with this jagged line here just to show where these rocks are. And then I'm going to take a highlighter and I'm even going to highlight them just to make them even more obvious. So there's our rocks. Coloured in like so. Fantastic. So we're going to go to some of the man-made features now, and we'll start with the way that most people come into the park. Most people come into the park with a road that sweeps just like this throughout the park all the way down to the campground and does a big circle like that at the campground. And next to this park, next to this road, we've got a number of buildings. To begin with, we've got the building that I'm in now, which is the Illawarra Environmental Education Centre. I'm going to sketch that on. And then as you enter the park there's also a few big buildings here as well, right next to the road. I'll just tidy up that last line. So there's some of my buildings so far. We're now going to think about some of the native plants that are growing all across this park, and there's just so many of them that I'm just going to take this green highlighter and colour in so much of this area green. Now to the south of the park, we've got a few ponds here that I've forgotten to add, so I'm just going to add those in now. We've got many of the features that we need on this map. So we'll go back to our word bolts. We've got a B for border. We've got an O for orientation. Our next letter is an L, and that L stands for a legend. We've got lots of information on this map. And to help us with a legend, I'm going to take each of the colours that we've used. I'm going to start with a thin black scribble with a black highlighter over the top of it. You might remember that this is our rocks, so I'm going to take my pen, and that is rocks. Now there's some other colours that I've used today. We've got blue like so that I'll scribble in. And if you've got a good memory, you'll remember that this blue is for water. Green highlighter though covers much of the park. Again, very important. We've got the plants here. Now we'll move on to our last beautiful natural feature, which was yellow. And hopefully you can remember this as the sand or the beaches. Perfect, so I'm getting pretty close with my natural features, but now there's a few man-made ones. I'm going to start with a little pen again, and we're going to build like so. These are our buildings. And finally, we've got a nice thick black line here, which were our roads. Whoops. So I'm getting close. I've got a B for border. I've got an O for orientation. I now need a T for title. So I need to think of a nice name for my map. We're doing a map of Killalea State Park. So that's going to be what my title is. I'm going to call this Map of Killalea. Whoops, can't spell Killalea. Map of Killalea. So we've got B for border, O for orientation, L for legend, T for title. The final one is an S for scale. This map is of a big area. This is about 3 kilometres by 3 kilometres. So I'm going to take this red pen like so, and I'm going to draw a nice arrow that covers this much of my map. So I've got one there, and that is 1 kilometre distance. So I'm going to write a 1, then a K, and then an M. And that's the last thing that I need on my map. Guys, I hope this helps. Good luck.